Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here bringing another StarCraft commentary, and now that the semester is over for the winter break, the holidays, finals, and things are over, and the copyright issues with IEG have been ironed out, that means we can get back to doing some awesome commentaries. And so I actually downloaded, I think, 6 games here. Yeah, 6 games. And I'm not sure how many I'll be able to get through today. I'm going to get through as many as I can today, and whatever's left, I'll go through tomorrow. And so that should be a good couple days of commentaries for everyone. And one thing I want to do here first of all is I've been noticing through comments and stuff that a lot of people are still kind of confused as to what happened over the offseason. So I just want to take a minute and talk about exactly kind of just like what happened and where people are, what went down. So if you're not interested, if you already have been keeping track and you're not confused at all and don't really care, just fast forward to about the 2-minute mark and you'll get to the game. Go ahead and do that if you wish. Otherwise, if you do want to know real quick, I'm just going to do a quick rundown, 1 minute, exactly what happened, and try and just bring everyone up to speed. I thought just doing it piece by piece throughout the year would work, but I think there's some people that are kind of a little not sure what's going on. So basically what happened is Hwasong, Oz, NBC, and We Made Fox all disbanded. We Made Fox and NBC had been losing money for a while, so they went and disbanded, and it was pretty much expected. Hwasong Oz, who is just a big company, and it's a little bit surprising to see them disband, but probably not getting as much results out of their team as they wanted, so they go ahead and disband. So the 3 teams go ahead, and all their players are what they did is they took the top 2 of each race from those 3 teams and put them onto this 8th team, which is just a Kespa run 8th team that they don't have an actual sponsor for, so we're just going to call it the Kespa 8th team. And so those players were C and Baby, Jadong and Killer, Jaehoon and Tyson, and then they grabbed 3 young players, Sang, Ryle 2, and Speed, who you'll probably never see play this year. To fill out the lineup. Everyone else went onto a posting and got and they basically what they do is they say, okay, all the players say, okay, I'm willing to play for this amount of money per week. If the teams are willing to pay for me, they bid and go from there and see who ends up where. So from that, KT Rolster got Mind and Wookie, Samsung Khan took Roro, SK Telecom took Alone and Saxfree, CJ took Hero Join, STX took Deer, and Woongjin took Shy. Everyone else is basically into forcibly retired, and that's anytime. Lucifer, Saint, Lomo, Pure, Hyun, Ruby, Midas, Shine, and Haya. All of them were forced to retire. Midas, probably one of the more. Midas and Anytime, probably the 2 most successful out of the group, and Haya really. Haya's a really solid player, and a little bit surprising that he wasn't able to find a home. But from what I heard, his posting price was a little too high, so he was retired because he was just asking for too much money, it looks like. And so that's what happened. All those players ended up leaving StarCraft and left us with this. So we've got the 8th teams, and then they reorganized the format as well. That's another thing that's become a big hot topic. Apparently, it's hard to follow, but from what I hear, it's been a hot topic because the format has kind of been stale over the last couple of years. So people were looking for maybe some kind of they just wanted things to change up a little bit. So that's what happened. So that's why we went from best of 7s to best of 5s, and no ace match. So you'll still see 5 different players, whereas before with the best of 7s you would see 6 different players. So now you're still going to see 5. So it's going to be a similar number of players, just but with the best of 5 series. So that's what happened over the off season, and now they're going, and they're actually going to have 2 different seasons of Pro Leagues, like a year 1 and a year 2, and they'll have 2 different champions for this season for the SK Planet Pro League, and that's how they're going to go ahead and do it. And they're actually not going to have a grand final between the 2 champions, which isn't really cool in my opinion. I think they should, but they're not going to. They're just going to have 2 different champions, and that's that. Okay, so that actually took a little bit longer than expected. That actually was like a 3-minute summary of what happened, but I think it was necessary because I've definitely got some messages and stuff from people being kind of confused, and not everyone has the time or the energy to go through and look through the TL articles and try and find everything that's there to be found. So hopefully that helps out a lot of people. So this is going to be Jangbi versus Shuttle on, I think this is Outlier. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Or no, I'm sorry, this is Jade. This is Jade, not Outlier. So Jangbi in the top left in yellow, and Shuttle in the top right and blue. And so what we had here from the early on is just a couple little things that we saw here early on. Shuttle went for Zealot before Core, which is why you see that Zealot on the ramp. Whereas Jangbi actually went for a very, very late scout, but he went in the correct direction. So he actually is getting the scout on first, and he went for a Core before his Zealot. So he's actually going to have some faster tech, and that could end up becoming a little bit of an issue on this map because you do have the reverse ramp. So it's really important on a map with reverse ramps, particularly when you're playing as or against a Protoss, to try and dominate the top of those ramps. So if Jangbi can use his earlier Dragoon and his earlier Dragoon range, whatever that may be, maybe 15-20 seconds advantage that he will have, if he can get over to Shuttle's base, particularly if he has a 2 or 3 gate Dragoon build going, he can try and dominate the top of that ramp and try and just box Shuttle in and try and take a big advantage by taking map control. And that's something that you do see on a lot of maps with reverse ramps with Protoss players. They love to try and take advantage of the top of that ramp and the power of the early Dragoons and dominate map control. So that's definitely a possibility here that we're seeing. So we see the Dragoon out. Jangbi hasn't even produced a single Zealot here. So this Dragoon does not have speed, but he is going to be able to get a couple pot shots off on that Zealot before he's forced to retreat from the reinforcing Dragoon from Shuttle. At the same time, Jangbi does have the second gateway up much earlier than Shuttle, but Shuttle does throw down 2 gateways now, so he's going to go up to 3 gateways and go 3-gate Goon. Jangbi looks like he's going to stick to this 2-gate build. I don't believe we've seen a third go down, so I think he's going to go with the 2-gate Robo build, and we'll see how that turns out for him. If he's able to put on the pressure, if he's just going to try and, or if he'll be forced to back off. And take note of Jangbi's little probe there in the back of that mineral line. He's going to try and get a scout in at some point. You know he is, and he's going to try and sneak it in, and we'll see if it's good. Nope, not yet. But you know that is going to be a possibility. That probe is going to be so useful, going to give him so much information. What next? It comes down to the pylon comes down, all kinds of information. It's going to be good for him, definitely. So range has finished on that Cybernetics core, it looks like, and the Dragoons are going to have a little bit of a duel here, and it looks like, yeah, not real damage done yet. Looks like all the Dragoons still have shields, and that probe sitting there in the corner, still waiting for an opportunity to try and dart in there. And Shuttle's starting to build up his Dragoon numbers, and I think at this point Jangbi might actually know about the 2 or 3. I might actually know that there's 3 gates now, just by the timing of those Dragoons. He's going to have an inkling. If he doesn't know yet, he's going to know pretty soon, and that's going to be important, and he'll know when he needs to back off here. So Jangbi with his 4 Dragoons thinking about trying to get into the base, and that probe also going to be a little bit of a nuisance, going to take some shots. So that was really nice by Jangbi as well. So that probe takes a bunch of shots from Dragoons, so his Dragoons don't die. And Jangbi going to back off here with his 4 Dragoons, sees all the Dragoons coming up the ramp for Shuttle, and going to back off here and consolidate his forces, and he's going to try and maintain this, contain for a little bit at the narrow choke outside of the natural expansion. We'll see how long he's able to maintain that, but definitely very nice here early on from Jangbi. And Shuttle, definitely not in a bad position with this 3-gate Goon going. Jangbi going Observer first, so he's not going to get contained too hard with a Reaver or anything right off the bat. And he will have an opportunity to build up his Dragoon forces and see if he can try and bust a breakout with these couple Zealots that he's got going. And a Robotics facility coming up here late as well for Shuttle. Doesn't look like Jangbi's looking to expand here. He's going to take a Robotic support base, so he's not going to go 2-gate Obs expand. He's still going to get that Reaver out pretty early. Doesn't want to get contained himself, and he's actually going to lose a Dragoon to the push out from Shuttle. Shuttle with these 3 gates pumping Dragoons, able to push Jangbi back, and is going to force Jangbi all the way back home. Is Jangbi going to try and control the top of his ramp, or is he going to go all the way home? That's the question right now. And it looks like he's going to be forced all the way back to his choke, not even going to be able to defend his broad ramp. Shuttle just with too many Dragoons. Jangbi has produced a couple Zealots here late to counter Shuttle Zealot. He's also bringing in some probes. We'll see if this is just I think that these probes are here just as extra cannon fodder, basically, just to try and even up the numbers a little bit. They're going to take some shots from the Dragoons, and he's hoping that that will be enough to even out. Unfortunately for him, both probes go down without really having much of an impact. I think he wanted those to be ready for the fight, but it's not going to work here. And that pylon there, again, just another thing that's going to take shots, and doing that very well there. In this case, Shuttle's wasting some shots. Well, not wasting, but spending some shots on it and allowing Jangbi to get a few of his own in. So here we go. Now we have a reverse contain going on here. Jangbi gets the contain on. Now Shuttle with the contain. And Jangbi pulling off a lot of probes. Is he going to try and bust out of this right now with a probe drill? Yes, he is. He's going to bring in the probes. It's not actually a drill, but he is going to send them in with the Zealots and the Dragoons. They're going to try and take down all of these, take down this push by Shuttle, and we'll see how successful he is. They are still alive, and they are still doing a decent bit of damage, but the Dragoons for Shuttle are dominating the battlefield right now. Jangbi losing a ton of Dragoons. He's only got 4 left. Still only has 4 left, and he's starting to lose this battle, but Jangbi coming in with the Reaver, and if that Reaver can get a couple shots off, this could be huge, and it does get the shot off and blast a couple of these Dragoons, and so Jangbi is actually going to take the field. He spends a bunch of his probes to do it, but he does manage to break this contain with a very nice creative defense. I love that defense by Jangbi. Very, very nice by him. I've seen it before where Jangbi has excellent probe control in PvP. His probe drills are fantastic. It's really amazing. That was some really nice timing there with his probes coming off the line and going in to bust that that contain. That was very, very well done by Jangbi, and it looks like Shuttle actually with his own observer has caught Jangbi's observer, but will he? No, I don't think he's going to be able to actually catch it, and it turns out that that probe loss for Jangbi is barely a loss at all at this point. You do see that he's still very, very well saturated at his main, and he's got the attack advantage going on right now. And if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see that Jangbi is on the left, Shuttle is on the right, and you can see that their side count is very, very close. Shuttle has a slight advantage in just looks like in terms of the amount of money he has, but it's so slim right now, and Jangbi definitely has to be very, very happy right now. It looks like he's probably just produced another Reaver, so that's why you see that spike in his supply count right now. And Jangbi looking like he's going to go on the aggression here. He doesn't have a lot of Dragoons, but what he does have is that Reaver and that Shuttle. So Shuttle... this is going to be annoying. So Shuttle's going to have to be very, very careful here, as is Jangbi, because if that Shuttle goes down with the Reaver inside, Jangbi will lose the field very, very quickly. And there's actually 2 Reavers inside, so this is going to be very, very interesting. Shuttle with the Reaver, but no Shuttle, and a couple Scarabs coming in here from Jangbi. So this is going to be really, really potentially devastating for Jangbi here. Going to be able to crawl these Reavers forward, and if he does this right, he'll be able to get a lot of pot shots here, and Shuttle looks like he wants to engage, but he cannot engage this, and those Scarabs are just, you're not going to see the difference yet, but you will see it when the big engagement comes. You will see all of these little pot shots, all the slight damage that is done to all these Dragoons. They will take an effect, and you will see when the big engagement happens that the Dragoons for Shuttle will die faster. Just simply, they will die simply faster than Dragoons from Jangbi because of the damage that they've taken. And here we go again. It looks like Shuttle coming in and going to try and pick off the Shuttle. Not able to do so, and the two Reavers dropped again for Jangbi. It looks like one of them does go down. Is the second Reaver going to go down? The second Reaver still alive and taking off a ton of Scarabs, and the ton of Dragoons go down for Shuttle. So that bust out not working at all. Not able to take down the Reavers and losing a boatload of Dragoons in the process. And he takes down the Shuttle, but the Reaver is still alive. So Shuttle's got his Reaver, and he's going to bring off his probes now, but it's too late. He is not going to be able to do a Jangbi defense here. It is too many Dragoons lost, and that Reaver for Shuttle looks like it is going to go down. So that should be game here. Shuttle at the natural expansion is going to be completely dominated and is going to lose this set. There is no coming back from this. Shuttle is destroyed. So very, very nice game by Jangbi here. Very, very nice. And he's going to get his, I think this would be his like second or third win in Pro League already. Doing very, very well. His only loss so far has come to effort, which is, you know, nothing to be embarrassed about at all. He's beaten yeah, he's doing very, very well, and beating a guy like Shuttle is definitely big for him. And this is yet another occasion where my team is going to kill itself for Fantasy Pro League. My players are all playing each other, particularly Jangbi. Jangbi is playing all my other players, so it's really, really annoying as he comes in here to finish off this game, and he's not even going to focus fire anymore. He's just going to let his Dragoons shoot and finish this up. And Shuttle should be GGing any second now. He's got to be frustrated. You know, STX just has not been looking good. They're with Cal in poor form, with Calm reverting to basically a 50% player, when at one point he was up there close to around 60%, and he was a true ace. He was looking really good, but Calm has really regressed over the last year and a half, and they've been depending on guys like Shuttle and Bogus to play a lot better and try and lead them to some victory. So they really need wins out of Shuttle as consistently as possible if they're going to get anywhere in Pro League. And this is not what he wants to see. He has not yet won in this Pro League season, so he's really struggling. And he is on my Pro League team. So yeah, Jangbi, either way, yeah, I was going to be happy on one side and Lowe's on the other. But Jangbi winning is always good. And so there we go. That is going to be the first game that we have for you today. Jangbi defeating Shuttle in a Samsung Con versus STX match. So we're going to go on to the next game. What is it going to be? It's going to be BC versus Free. So I will see you guys all there.